Today I'm going to be cooking a beef brisket, and this is a full packer. It's a 12 pound, and I'm going to start by taking off as much of this hard fat as I can. This hard fat will never render out during the cook, so you want to get rid of it. Full packer beef briskets have two parts to them. What I'm working on right now is called the flat, and I'm going to weave a good layer of fat on the flat. Weaving this fat on the flat is going to help in the cooking process, so we make sure we don't dry this part of the brisket out. But I am going to take this point part that I'm working on now down until it's almost bald. I am now working on the other side of the brisket. So what I'm doing is I'm trying to take off all these big globs of fat that are on the back of the brisket, and I'm taking off the silver skin. And with the silver skin, you just have to slide your knife under it a little bit, and it should just come off in like one big band. The key to getting a nice tender brisket is getting off as much of the silver skin as you can. If it stays on there during the cook, it ends up becoming really, really tough, and you don't have a nice tender brisket. What I am doing now is I'm taking off this discolored part of the brisket, and that happened during the whole butchering of the cow. There's nothing wrong, you can still eat it, but just for looks, I always take it off. Right now, I'm working on the point part of the brisket, and I'm taking this down until it's going to be pretty much bald. This point on a brisket has a lot of fat running through it, so you don't have to really worry about it drying out throughout the cook. That's why we always take it down to being bald. Today we're going to be seasoning the brisket with Sarap's Dayum. And I'm going to be going pretty heavy on the seasonings today. This is a big piece of meat, and you can get away with doing a lot of seasoning on it. Today I'm cooking on the Yoder YS640 pellet grill. I'm using smoke ring pellets. I'm using the oak, hickory, and cherry blend. I'm going to be cooking at 200 degrees for the first part of the cook, and I will be adding a smoke tube to help infuse the meat with more smoke. I am about halfway through the cook at this point, and I have the smoke tube in. The brisket's taking on some nice color. I'm going to wait till it hits the stall, which usually happens about 160 to 165 degrees. And then I'm going to put the brisket in a pan and cover it tight with foil. I have the brisket in the pan now and it's wrapped tightly with foil. I've inserted the temperature probe into the point. I've turned up the heat on the grill to 240 degrees, and I'm going to let this cook until it hits an internal temperature of 205 degrees. The brisket has hit the internal temperature of 205 degrees, so I pulled it off the Yoder and I'm going to let it rest for a half an hour before I cut into it. After the brisket has rested, it's time to slice, so I am going against the grain on the flat part of the brisket, and as I move closer and closer to the point, you'll eventually see me separate the point. Brisket on the smoker is one of the most rewarding meats and also one of the most intimidating meats out there for barbecue. Go ahead, give it a try, don't be intimidated by it, and most of all, just have fun. This is Johnny from Smoky Q. I'll see you later.